I want you to welcome U.S. Marine Corps veteran, primitive survival expert, and author of this book. It's called Wild Wisdom. Please welcome Donny Dust. I have so been looking forward to having you here, Donny, because I'm intrigued by your life.
Thank you.
First of all, you got in the Marine Corps. So you go to the place where there's so much structure and order and orders and telling you what to do. And now you're living out there in the middle of nowhere in the wild. I mean, there couldn't be a bigger contrast, I don't think, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the Marine Corps kind of teaches you those foundations of, mission accomplishment and staying disciplined. And when you kind of transition in that natural world, you kind of get to live a little bit more freely. You kind of go with the flow of what the environment is dictating. Whether it's raining, you got free drinks. If it's snowing, you got to build a fire. So you just kind of adapt and overcome.
Well, I recognized immediately the Marine Corps haircut, and that was the first thing that I noticed. But, you did learn some survival skills in the Marines, and I guess that was part of what led you into becoming the wild man.
Absolutely, yeah. The Marine Corps gave me that foundation, and they always kind of painted this picture. We're going to create the worst day possible. And when you take that kind of worst day and translate it or transplant it into the future, every day after that, it's pretty simple. So they teach you to adapt and overcome and deal with that adversity, really building your resiliency.
Now, you take people out in the middle of nowhere and teach them how to survive. What are some basic things that city boys need to learn when they get out there in the middle of nowhere with no hotel room, no cot, no tent, just caveman kind of life?
I can tell you that first and foremost, this is not a wig, and I do appreciate the hotel room. It's pretty great. But typically, you got to focus on shelter right up front because exposure to the elements, whether it's rain, heat, snow, you pick it, is going to wind up taking your life quicker than anything. So you focus on those priorities based on that environment, you'll be able to overcome. But I do have to check a lot of people's packs for extra, beef jerky and cell phones and baby wipes.
They learn to have to eat whatever they find out there in the wilderness, right?
Absolutely.
So they don't bring sandwiches and a jar of peanut butter.
Nothing.
We're talking about leaves and berries and...
Yeah, well, certain leaves, but a lot of berries. We go with the fish first mentality because it's easy to catch fish, whether you can just scoop right out of the water, using your hand, or you build a spear. But there's always food. There's a giant buffet out in the bush, as I like to say, and you just have to know how to properly resource it. And once you have those, those food, favorites, they're out there for the taking.
You brought looks like some knives.
I did.
Or,
yes.
I would call them arrowheads, but I don't know what.
So one of the things I focus on in the primitive skills world, here's a couple.
Okay.
Is actually making all of our tools. So we don't bring anything modern out there. It's
really?
All, loincloths and animal skins and then stone tools.
Keith so wants to go out and do the loincloth thing. I know he does.
But that's the focus. The focus is our creativity is our #1 survival skill.
So you take a rock and you turn it into what could be either a weapon or a tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow.
Spear points, arrow points, a knife like this, everything and anything can be a tool. And I use simple bits of antler tines and various pressure flakers to essentially make that tool. I mean, this is from an antler. So you could find this out in the bush and create all of the tools with the necessary rock. Like this right here, this is a little knife. That's for you.
Wow.
But more importantly, that knife has been used to butcher a bison.
No kidding, this little knife.
That little knife right there. So with, the help of 4 or 5 other students, 1,100-pound animal, that single blade right there will be able to take that whole bison.
Hey, we're talking some serious eating if you have a big old 1,200-pound bison.
Absolutely.
That's some basic barbecue right there.
Good meat right there. The ribs.
Suddenly you feel like, this is all right. It's a fascinating thing because you're really going back to the primitive kind of life that people lived long before. And there's been a lot more people who have survived that kind of lifestyle than have driven cars and pulled up to a hotel and gotten a restaurant meal and all those sort of things. So it's kind of nice to know this is how we got here because people before us had it a lot tougher than we'll ever imagine. Absolutely. I know you deal with that in your book. People also can sign up to go to one of your courses and experience it.
Absolutely. We'll head out in the bush in the high mountains of the Rockies. We'll head out into the deserts and eat tarantulas. I mean, it's a great time. And it's
Boy, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? Eating a tarantula. You had me at the bison, you lost me at the tarantula, I got to tell you. Rhett Turner is an Emmy award-winning filmmaker and photojournalist. He also happens to be the son of CNN founder Ted Turner, who dedicated 2 million acres of land to conservation. Rhett's amazing photos of the wildlife and natural beauty of that land in this country make up this beautiful book. And it's hard for me to pick it up. It's so doggone heavy. Almost like you get a hernia lifting this book. It's that big, but it's absolutely amazing. And it's called Conserving America's Wildlands, the vision of Ted Turner. Would you please welcome Rhett Turner. Rhett, good to have you here.
Absolutely, thank you. Glad to be here.
You know, I tell people all the time, I'm a conservative, and therefore I am a conservationist.
That's correct.
Because I think that every person who cherishes these wonderful gifts of God in nature should try to protect it. Your dad made a comment that I have really heralded as a life goal, and that is, be a good steward of the landscape, the land. Try to do the old Boy Scout thing. Leave the land in as good or better shape than you found it. Your dad was an Eagle Scout, I believe. You were an Eagle Scout.
I'm an Eagle Scout.
You're an Eagle Scout.
My dad's not an Eagle Scout.
But
my son's also an Eagle Scout as well.
Okay. So was that sort of drilled into you to have a reverence and just an appreciation for the world about us?
Yes, and I got to grow up on my dad's properties and also going out sailing with him as well. But yes, it was a reverence to be able to enjoy the land, be out on the landscape.
Your dad didn't have to buy a lot of land and make it so that it's a preserve. Made a lot of money, clearly, but he didn't have to spend it on ways that didn't really benefit him personally. Why did he do it? What was his motivation?
His motivation was, one, he loved bison and the history of what happened to them, what we did, and he had an idea that he wanted to work on bringing the numbers up. And when he first started buying his land and then started putting bison on it, at the time it was over 150 to 200,000, 30 plus years ago, only 150 to 200,000 bison in North America. And now we've gone up to 500,000. We've doubled it. And my dad's properties carry up to 38 to 45,000 bison, depending on what time of year it is.
You know, and it's pretty good eating, isn't it?
It's great eating.
I mean, it's great protein, delicious, meat. And I think a lot of times people, they just don't understand that if you're a carnivore, like many of us are, that meat has to come from somewhere.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of cattle, but we also, bison, it's in a lot of grocery stores. We've got Ted's Montana Grill in about 15 to 20 cities across the United States. So it's a great company, and we do serve bison.
Do you have, in all of this book, do you have a picture that is your favorite, is the one that you just say, this is it, this is the signature picture?
There's one of the pictures in the beginning of the book where I went back in late 2020 to go get a desert bighorn sheep picture, and I'm climbing up on top of the Fra Cristobal Mountains on the Armendaris Ranch in New Mexico, and I see a desert bighorn sheep looking down at it, and it's looking over the landscape, and I really do like that picture.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's some amazing photographs in here. It's a great celebration of America and the extraordinary beauty that this country has afforded to all of us. Rhett, thank you for putting the book together. Thank you for being here with us and sharing this great story, and I hope people will make this a coffee table book in their home.